Hi there, my name is Frank Alletto. I am your student's English teacher. This is English 3 Accel American Literature. Thanks so much for coming to Lyons Township High School's first virtual Zoom, only virtual Zoom, last virtual Zoom, hopefully. I appreciate you coming, and this gives me a chance to introduce myself and introduce the course and give you a glimpse at what the kids see during the day. Thanks again for visiting, because again, I can introduce myself, which I obviously haven't been able to do, and give you information about the course and take a look at what a week looks like, a typical week. English 3 Accel American Lit. Slide about me. I graduated from Lyons Township High School my mullet and I graduated from Lyons Township High School in 1992. We made it out together. Actually, I don't think my mullet made it out, because this is a picture of me my senior year with Glenn Brown, my senior year English teacher, and still one of my best friends. As you can see, I was born in LaGrange and I live in Western Springs now, so obviously I am quite the world traveler. I've been to Wisconsin Dells a few times. But I have a bachelor's in literature and secondary ed from, again, not very far away, Benedictine University, or Illinois Benedictine College when I was there, and a master's in American literature at Roosevelt, also several blocks away-ish. So this I'm particularly proud of. North Campus room 117 was my senior year English room, which is the picture of me and Glenn Brown. North Campus 117 is where and when I decided to become a teacher. And North Campus 117 is my classroom. Whew, I tell you, it's like I need a compass to navigate. I began teaching at LT in 1996. This is my, just saying it is hard, my 25th year. I also teach English and writing at Roosevelt University, and I taught at Columbia College for 10 years, writing as well. This is sort of my claim to fame, I suppose. I am half musician, half magician. There's another half of something, probably English teacher. But one of the ways I can engage the students is by beginning a class Zoom, or maybe halfway through the class Zoom, doing a little magic or playing a song, usually something funny or something related to what we're reading. And then when they're not paying attention, I kind of slip teaching in sort of the side door, really, is kind of how I do that. So hopefully they've told you about some of the magic. I haven't gotten the guitar yet, but I will. So this course I've been teaching for centuries, and I'm pretty sure I took this course. Students obviously read and write and discuss discuss different American literary genres, namely short fiction, poetry, novels, plays, and I do short films as well. I teach a visual word course, movie course, and I like to incorporate short films, and students, of course, love that. We do traditional writing, essays, expository, analytical, persuasive, but because I also teach creative writing, and I also know the power of creative writing, I include creative writing in the course. We not only do essays, but we write creatively. We emulate a lot of the writing we're reading, because that's the best way to engage with it. And they can develop their voice as writers as well when they try to emulate an author they like, or a poet they like. So this semester, we're reading The Great Gatsby, Death of the Salesman, Beloved, and The Things They Carried. The Things They Carried is a novel about the Vietnam War, but it's a novel about storytelling more than it is even about the Vietnam War. And you probably know Great Gatsby and Death of a Salesman. Beloved is an absolute masterpiece. It is a narrative about slavery. It is a narrative about family. It is a narrative about justice and guilt. And I teach it through a Gothic lens, which is very intriguing for students. As well, short stories, poems, and short films, as I said. So most likely you've heard this from other teachers and from students, but we have a 0% formative, which is basically practice, homework assignments, reading assignments, written responses, practice quizzes, comprehension questions. The practice activities are 0%, so there's no risk for students when they do this. And that's good because we want them to take risks as they are working on things, because that's how they'll grow. Risk being creative when maybe they didn't before. Our summative assessments are quizzes, and for English especially, final essays or creative pieces that they absolutely can revise. They can revise if they've completed the formative assignments, which if they didn't complete the practices and they want to revise, they still can, as long as they complete the practices. Of ROI, I tell them this is about return on investment. You know, you won't get back what you put in the classroom. You'll get more because we have all these activities, and the return on investment will be extraordinary. And unfortunately, this works in the reverse direction. You know, no investment, no engagement, no growth. And so I tell them that planting nothing yields nothing, and to engage, and the more they engage, the more they will grow. And that is absolutely true. But basically, we do everything virtually when we are working synchronously. Asynchronously is when they're working on things on their own. But the Zoom classroom gives us the opportunity to talk as a class. It gives us the ability to do breakout rooms, which is sort of small groups, as well as have one-on-one conference time with the student. So as students are working on projects, I can meet with a student in a small breakout room to talk to them about their draft or their ideas. During class, they also have time to work. So just like they would in standard traditional classroom, on-site classroom, they have time to read and write, and I am there to help if they have any questions. Not sure how to pronounce this, but I'm pretty sure it's Camtasia. It is a tool to record lessons and screen share. So I've done that already twice, where I just record myself, in this case, annotating a text. So when they're reading, I really want them to read with a pen or a pencil or quill. A quill is fine, in their hand as they're reading. If you're not writing that down, it just disappears. And so I like them to have writing in the margins, even if it's just circling repetition. So I'm able to model that with this software. And then in class, there's lots of written feedback, just like a traditional classroom, and lots of revision opportunities. Students begin their Zoom from Canvas, as I'm sure you've heard in other classes. That's where assignments are posted. That's where students submit assignments. So a typical week begins with the Monday 35-minute Zoom. I usually model something we're going to be doing because it's the perfect opener, right? And I'll introduce the content, essentially, expectations. The next two class sessions are the ones that are 75 minutes, and they can be made up of a bunch of different things. We do, every day I do a dose of poetry. We read a poem a day, and sometimes we don't do anything with it, we just read it. During the week, we do full class discussions. Like I said, we do the breakout rooms. They have in-class reading time. Also, students take turns teaching sections of whatever we're working on. That could be a student teaching or a group of students teaching. So an example, if I may, the first one I shared with them, and it's probably the most amazing poem I can share with them. An anagram, of course, is a word that can be mixed up into different words with all the letters. So you scramble the letters. And so this is called anagrammer, and you'll see that it's more than just about language. If you believe in the magic of language, then Elvis really lives. And Princess Diana foretold, I end as cars spin. If you believe the letters themselves contain a power within them, then you understand what makes outside tedious. Desperation becomes a rope ends it. The circular logic that allows senator to become treason and treason to become atoners. That 11 plus 2 is 12 plus 1. And an admirer is also married. That if you could just rearrange things the right way, you'd find your true life, the right path, the answer to your questions. You'd understand how the Titanic turns into that ice tin, and debit card becomes bad credit. How listen is the same as silent, and not one letter separates stained from sainted. When I introduced this poem afterwards, I told them one of my favorite quotes, which is, life is not about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. And we talked about how much power we do have to rearrange our own metaphorical letters and give ourselves a new reality. I will be sending you open house question forms before you get this video. Just got questions about your students' interests, about other classes, about dialogue at home, so on and so forth. So thank you so much for coming, and I hope to meet you all very soon. Thanks.